Hey, how's it going? Welcome back. And as you can see, another Fog of War from Megan033, part of their one line through the fog collection. This one, of course, has a similar feeling to a lot of them that have been done previously. I think I've done most of them. There might be one or two more that are left from this line of Sudokus that I have yet to get into, but I'm sure I'll get there eventually. Let's getting distracted, of course. I get texts, emails, calls all the time when I try to start recording. So here we go. So this one is called Echoed Whispers Through the Fog by Megan033. And let's just get into our rules and get going. Link in the description below, like always. So normal Sudoku rules apply. So every row, every column, and every 3x3 box contains the digits 1 through 9 once each. There is one and only one green line, which creates a loop and is both a German whisper, so adjacent digits along the line must differ by 5, and a palindrome, along with each pair of digits in equal distance from line's central cell, indicated by filled green circle, must be the same digit. Okay, so there's a little bit to break in on that one. We'll go through each one separately. So this is a German whisper, and I'm going to get my thing off of that type, the actual item one so I don't accidentally click a digit. So these digits on a German whisper must be differ by at least 5. So any time when there's an adjacency, they must differ by 5 in value. Now the caveat on this one is also that there's a palindrome system here, and this circle seems to be the central cell. Yes, that's what it says. So the digits on each side of this cell, equidistant distance away from that central cell, must be the same digit. And then we have a few more rule sets here. I think we can see all of these options too, which is always nice, but not always necessary. Digits in a cage do not repeat in some of the clue in the top left corner. This is our killer cages. So these two here, as you see, 2 cells that add together must equal that 9 in the corner. And we have Kropki dots, so a black dot between cells indicates cell values with a 2-to-1 ratio. So in this instance, these must be in a 2-to-1 ratio. 2x, x over 2. One of them is double, the other one's half kind of thing. A white dot between cells indicates cells with consecutive values, and not all dots are given. We don't have a white dot showing at the moment, so let's just say these 2 cells had a white dot between them. They just have to be consecutive digits. And then finally, the grid is partially covered with fog. Correctly placed digits will clear the fog around that cell. No guessing is required. So if we were to somehow miraculously figure out what this digit was right off the bat, it would therefore clear out all of this fog, and we would get some extra clues to work with to try to progress forward. So those are our rule sets. And let's just jump into this one and have some fun, because they are always fun. Not had a bad Fog of War, I don't think that I've ever done in my life. So let's get on it and see what we can figure out. Now, where, oh where, now, clearly we know where, oh where we're starting. We're starting somewhere in these 6 cells, or all of those 6 cells are going to come together to determine something. But in what way are these guys coming together to tell us what's what? And that's a good question. Well, it doesn't seem to be too useful, but there's a couple things about German whispers that we do know. Well, I guess the other thing we do know is because this is a palindrome, so let's start with our German whisper and then we'll move into palindrome. I think we're going to have to look at both of them together. So on a German whisper, you can never have a 5. We know that, because you can't be 5 away from a 5. You also have to go in a low, high situation. So each one is the opposite. So if one is low, this one has to be high, this one has to be low, etc., etc., etc. And the last couple of things about German whispers that are usually quite useful is where can you place 6s and 4s, because 4 can only pair with a 9 and 6 can only pair with a 1. So clearly you couldn't ever put a 4 or a 6 here, because that would cause either both of these to be 9s or both of these to be 1s. Now that said, we also have this palindrome situation where this is our center digit. And, well, there's actually a lot of things that seem to be kind of working together that we can reduce options. So I'll get to this Kropki in a second. So what it means is these two digits must be the same digit because they're equidistant away from the center. These two must be the same digit because they're equidistant away from the center. Okay. Now, going in, putting in a bunch of options for these might be how we need to start just to be able to see the exact number, but I'm going to follow up with, once again, we have this black Kropki dot, which is going to throw a little bit of a wrench into this area. Because normally you could put a 3, 6 on a 9 cage, because those do equal to 9 in 2 digits. But if we were to put a 3, 6 in this cage specifically, we would also have to put a 3 or a 6 up here, and therefore we break the puzzle. So, I think what we might end up doing is kind of just starting to fill in either the 9 or the Kropki and see how things go. I think I might start with the Kropki. So we know we can only do 1, 2, 2, 4, 3, 6, or 4, 8. We just ruled out 3, 6 from the equation. So it's 1, 2, 4, or 8. Now, if this was an 8, it would force this to be a 1. If it was a 4, it would have to be a 5. If it was a 2, it would have to be a 7. And if it was a 1, it would have to be 8. Now, the thing is, we also have to take into account the fact that whatever this digit is, it's going to create our highs and lows. So if this is a high digit, that forces this to be a low digit. So we'd have an 8 and a 1 and a 4 already done. So this would have to be a 2 or a 3 if this was an 8. And that would force this to be another high digit, which would be 7 or 9, which all seems to work. I wonder if it's going to help me to color as well to get started, because we need to essentially just need to file this thing down until there's only like one solution left to get going. So we know, like I said, we know these are the same digit. We know these are the same digit. I'm going to use these colors for now. And we know we're going to have on this 10, 2 different digits that are at least 5 away from each other to equal 10. Now that rules out 6 and 4 and 7 and 3. So we end up with either it being 9, 1 or 2, 8. Now if this one therefore has to be from 1, 2, 8 or 9 as well, and this has to be from 1, 2, 8 or 9. Now I'm hoping to kind of clog this whole system up where we start getting things on the periphery that rule themselves out. Now, we said this had to be, okay, so I think now there is a little something with this combination here, because if we said this was 8, this would have to be 1, this would have to be 4, this would have to be a high digit, which could still be that 9. No, but that doesn't work, does it? Let's look at it. If this is an 8, this is a 1, this is a 4, this therefore has to be a 9 because it has to be a high digit. This has to be a 2. But the point what we end up getting with is if this is 8, 1, this becomes a 9. This therefore is a 9, then this is a 1. So that 8, 1 is going to break this. So this can't be 8, so this can't be 1. Okay, I'm wondering if we just have to keep chiseling away there. Now, if this is, okay, so this is a low digit. Well, that doesn't matter. Well, yes, it does. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. Because this is a low digit, this must be a high digit. So these are from 8 or 9, which means these are low digits. These have to be from 1 or 2. Now, can we go further? If this is a 2, That forces this to be a 7. This has to be a 1, 1, 9, and 9. I think that works. This is a 1. This again is an 8. These both have to be 9s, but these both have to be 2s, and that doesn't work. Let's look at that again real quick. 1 and 8. This is a 1-8 pair. It's the same thing, I think, that we did, just kind of looking at a different way. Then we've ruled out some of this other stuff. This is a 1-8 pair. These are both 9s, but these both have to be 2s. So this cannot be a 1. This cannot be an 8. So we're down to a few options here. Now we said 2 would work. I think 4 is going to also work, right? So this is 4, this is 5. These both have to be 9s. These both have to be 1s. And we end up, this is either 2 or 8. I think that works perfectly fine, right? Now, did we say that this was a 9 if this was a 2? I don't think we did we? Yeah, we did, actually. If this is a 2, this forces this to be a 1, so these have to be 9s. If this is a 4, these just have to be 9s by our German whisper. So these are always 9s. And we get a correct answer there. So these are always 1s. This can never be 1. Okay. Now we have some further information. And I think I might start to remove coloring just because it affects my eye. Now, we know we have to have a 4 in one of these. I don't know which one exactly. Now, we can look at highs and lows still, and we can just kind of put those in. This has to be from, well, this can never be 6, like we said, because 1 and 1 would have to be together, and 1 and 1 would have to be each other. It's either 7 or 8, because it obviously can't be 9. Now, these digits must be low digits. They cannot be 1 or 4. Again, 4 can't go next to a 7 or 8, so it has to be from 2 or 3. And I don't know where this guy goes, so I can't tell which side is which here. But I can say that this has to be a high digit. Cannot, again, be 6, cannot be 9, so it has to be from 7 or 8. Okay. Now, we've got to be able to use these clues to help us out. Some way. The 15 is typically the one that has the less options. It's either 9, 6, or 8, 7. This is not 9, this is not 6, because of that guy right there. And I don't know that we can do anything further with that one, can we? No, I don't see anything there. This 12, we know it can't be 9, 3. Can it be 4, 8? If it is, this is an 8 and this is a 4. Because we know the 4 has to be up here. It can't be here. Now we could also do 7, 5, which could very well work. Okay. Let's go back and start looking at our palindrome. Let's start plopping these guys in here. So this purple has to go down here somewhere, whatever it may be. This blue has to be up in one of these two. That doesn't do much, does it? I almost have a quintuple here on this row, but not quite. And we know that this has to be a different color than the purple. Because whatever this is, 7 or 8, this is the other version of it. The thing is, we don't know where this German whisper / palindrome goes. Well, I guess we do now, actually, now I think about it. We know it goes into here. And it has to either go into one of these 3 cells. But whatever this next digit is the same as this digit. So these 2 cannot be that digit. So this is that 7-8 pair out here. Now we have a 7-8 pair, so this has to be a 9, and there we go. This is a 6. And now we know that this is gonna go down here. This is gonna have to drop down here, I think, but it could possibly cut that corner. I'm not gonna, I don't see anything on that corner, but I'm not gonna rely on that fact or that little bit there to work with this, I don't think. We do have a 7-8 pair here, which means this is 5. So this is 4. This is not 4. This is not 5. So this is not 7. We do have another 7-8 pair going on, so this must be the purple 7-8. And I can't rule out the yellow from either one of these yet either. Now I'm pretty sure that these 2 are the same digit, but I don't want to go down there just yet. I don't know if it's my coloring. No, there's nothing crossing over that corner. You would be able to see it, but I don't know if doing this is going to give us much info anyway. But these would be the same digit because they're the same distance. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 off. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We'll just keep it out there right now. So what else do we need in, let's say, a row that we could use to help us out here? We need 2, 3, and 6. And that, I can't use that, can I? Now, okay, actually, sorry, I just saw this, so I should have seen earlier. This is the German, so it looks like we're going to have to flip back and forth between like German Whisper and Palindrome logic. Both of these would give us the same logic. One of these is 7, one of these is 8. This can never be 3 because it would break the 7 wherever it is, so these have to be 2s. And now we confirm that that's where this digit must go. And let's put these in a color as well, because we now know that these are the same digits along the line. And what does that do for us? We know one of these is 2, and the other one is yellow. Not sure how to take that. What about these 2 digits now? They must be from 3 and 6. These digits, we don't quite, well, we know these are low, so let's go there. Let's take what we do know. 1, 2, 3, or 4. It can't be 4. They can't be 2 because of this 2 here. So these are either 1 or 3. These 2 are some high digit. There's no way this could be 6 because, well, let's look at what we actually can see. Well, no, that doesn't rule this one out from being a 6. But we know that this has to extend past here because this one extends past here. So this is going to have to go somewhere. Whether it go to either of these, it has to go there. So this can never be 6 because it would have to have 2 1s next to it. So it has to be from 7, 8, or 9. And sadly, we can't rule out any of those possible options there, can we? So now this 6 cage is somewhat deceptive because we don't technically know if it's a 2 cage, 2-cell cage, or a 3-cell cage. Because it could very well still be a 3-cell cage if it did this. And this was a 1, and these were a 2-3 pair. Or it could just be a straight up 2-cell cage. In which case it would have to be 2-4. But that would give us more information, but we do not know if that cell is a 2 or a 3. I've been doing too much talking today. My throat's getting a little bit sore. Apologies for that. Now, is there anything further we can do in any of these regions that'll help us out? Let's see. Now, I can't necessarily rule out the 3 or the 7s on any of these. I don't think. I'm looking around just to make sure I'm not missing anything in those terms. No, not that I see. This 9 cage again is not going to do me too much good because there's multiple ways to make 9. I don't have anything really looking at this just yet. So let's do a little bit more scanning. Okay, how about 4s and 5s in this row? We know we have to have both the 4 and the 5. They can't be in any of these. And we have one of them here, so the other one must be here. So this is a 4-5 pair. This must be, okay, that's what it was. So we got a 7-8 pair, a 4-5 pair, a 9-6, and a 2. So these must be 1-3 pair. There's a 1 here. 3. And that's correct. So these are both 1s. Let's get rid of that coloring. I don't need it now. Now, that 1 didn't do me much good, to be honest. Let's put, these are the next set of digits on this line. They must be low digits. They cannot be 1 or 2, so they're 3 or 4. This cannot be a 4, because again, well, no, let's not say that. We know there's one line. We don't know where it ends. So this could very well be the end, and it therefore could be a 4. Now, if we get further information that tells us this line continues, good Lord, stop calling me, people. If we determine that this line continues on either of these ends, we can then rule out a 4, but we cannot do that just yet. Okay. So I've got to do more scanning here. Now, those ones didn't quite open up very much in terms of the fog of war. So, what can we do? Now, the only thing this 1 removed in possibilities is that this can't be an 8-1 anymore, but it still can be 7-2, 6-3, or 5-4. None of which I can really remove options from. Is there anything just Sudoku based that might help at the moment? I mean, we know one of these has to be a 1. I don't think there's going to be much we get from Sudoku. There's not quite enough on the board just yet. Yeah, okay. That was just a little hop into Sudoku world to see if we could figure anything else out that might be useful, but it doesn't seem like it is. No, we still can't figure this out, which is kind of getting at me. This is either 2, 7, or 8. Well, I guess we have a quad here, 2, 7, and 8s. We've got 1s and 9s. So these digits have to have 3, 4, a 5, and a 6. Yeah, that was exactly worthless. Okay. Essentially, both of these regions have the same digits already determined within them. So we can't really do anything about these guys. Okay. Again, it was a good look at something, but it did not pan out. Now, is there anything with this 9 with this a white Kropki dot here that we can look at? And I just don't think so. Feels like we need just a little bit more revealed here. look at the rules. When you are in doubt, there is one and only one green line which creates a loop. I don't know if I read that out loud or it just went away from my brain. So that does solve this 3-4 situation. The old Pan-Pam situation. So therefore we know that this thing does somehow loop all the way around. So therefore this can never be 4. Okay, that was the information I needed. That was perfect. These can't be 7s. And we now can continue. Good. Let's get rid of this coloring. Just gets in the way. No, I didn't mean to do that. These two are now the next set, and these two are the next option. So these have to be from 8 or 9. We have a 9 here, so these just have to be 8. That's clearing more up. We can get rid of that coloring. These have to be low digits. These cannot be 2, 3, or 4 because they all see that. So these must be 1s. That one will remove that as a 1. That 8 here just gave us these are 9s. Did we see anything with these 8s? Yes, we did. This 8 here gives us our 7s. And therefore, these are 8s. So let's get rid of that coloring again. And all of this coloring actually can go away, and we can restart our coloring. This 7, therefore, makes this a 5. This a 4. So these are not 5. These are not 4. This is not a 3, actually. And that's not a 3, actually. Seeing if there's anything else in here that we can use. This is not a 7. So this is a 2-8 pair still, and not quite resolved. So let's move along our line. These 2 digits have to be high. They cannot be 6. They could be 7 or 8. And we know, let's color them. We know they move along to these next lines. So these two have to be the same. They have to be low digits. They cannot be 1s. They have to be 2s or 3s. They can't be 9 because they can't be 4 because there's no 9 there. This 8 digit, I didn't even notice it was here until I just looked at it. So this is either a 5 or a 6. Okay. And I don't see how that's giving me anything at the moment, which is fine. Now it looks like this line goes into here. So this is going to be its own digit, it seems, because there doesn't seem to be any other way that this loop could end. So this is this is the end, or this is the tip of the loop where everything comes back down again. And therefore this has to be a high digit. 7, 8, or 9. Can't be 6 for multiple reasons. And okay, so now we've gotten things a little bit more broken open. Maybe we can get into some Sudoku. Yeah, this has to be a 1. One of these is a 1. And we can, oh, okay, we do know this is a 2-digit region now, so it has to be a 2-4. So we ruled out the possibility of being a 3 cell. There we go, it has to be 2-4. These digits here have to be from 3, 6, and 7. And let's continue around somehow. There must be a way, right? Do we want to continue with Sudoku? One of these has to be a 3. Is that going to be useful? If this is a 3, this could be 2 or 4, which is perfectly fine. If this is a 3, this is a 6, which is perfectly fine. Is that accurate? Now let's think about that. If this is a 6, this causes this to be a 5, 3. This can't be anything. This is not a 3, so this is a 3. Now none of these are 3, so one of these is. Okay, so this we know this can't be 1, 8. It could be 7, 2, and it could be 5, 4. We can't rule out any of that just yet. But let's put it in here. 7, 2, or 5, 4. This cannot be 7s. This can't be 2. This can't be 7 because this would have to be 6 or 8, and 6 and 8 are looking at us. This is not 7, too. This is a 4 or 5 pair, which means this is 2, this is 4. So that worked out okay. How about this row now? We've got a bunch of information for it. We can't have 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5 anymore, so we have to have 6, 7, and 8. This can't be 7 or 8, so that's 6. This can't be now 6 or 8, so it's 7. And this is 8. Alrighty. Okay, that 8 now gives us, these both have to be 7. That opens this up nicely. Therefore, these must be 2s, because a 7 can't go next to a 3. And we do finally finish this 8-2 up here, which took quite a long time. This must now be 6 to create 8. So this is 3 and 6 and 4 and 3. And we get a doot in the corner. This is not 3. I'm going to have to stop recording today after this one, I think, because I don't know my throat's going to be able to take it anymore. This is from 5 and 7. These now we know must be 2, 4, and 9. Neither of those are 2, so this is 2. Okay, that's just clearing up fog. So I think that's what the stage we're at now, is clearing out fog. We have to have these be 1, 5, and 8. This is not 1, obviously. Okay, let's get rid of these last bits of color that we don't need anymore. And I think we're going to jump into Sudoku now. So the ones we have an X-Wing left over. The 2s, 2 has to just go here. And therefore here. Is that all the 2s? It is. How about 3s? This now just has to be a 3. We had a mark down there. I didn't realize that it had been finalized yet. One of these is a 3. We know this isn't a 3. Okay, these are not 7s, so let's get rid of those and put the 7 down here. That finishes a little bit of Sudoku. And let's continue on. This has to be either 4 or 5 just by this region. And these 2 digits, we know what they are. They are 4 and 6, so let's put those in. Okay. 5s are not looking very good. I don't have too many 5s to work with, so 6s. We can get a 6 here. We might be able to do more with 6s. I'm not quite sure. The answer to that is now no. 7s. Okay, 7s in the middle region. Can't be any of these. By Sudoku. Can't be this one, and it can't be this one because this never can be consecutive, so this is 7. So we get a 5 and a 7. We get a 4, 5, 4. And we have an 8 up here that gives us this as our 9. So we can go 4 and 9. I'll get back to our white Kropki dot here in a minute. This must be 6. This must be 4. This must be 3 and 6. And that's going to give us our 3 here. And it's going to finish off our fog. Now, these 2 guys have to be from 5 and 9. This clearly can't be 9. And if you looked at Sudoku, it would say the same thing. So this is 5. This is 9. These 2 digits must be from 5 and 8. Not resolved. These 2 must be from 1 and 4. It is resolved. So we get 1 and 4. This has to be 1 by Sudoku. This is 5 or 8. Can't be 8. It's 5 or 8 because of this row. This has to be the 5. Then 8, 5, 8, 5. That is now a 6 and a 5, and we are just about done. This is a 9. These are from 6 and 8, so this is the 8, and this is the 6. And let's make sure we put everything in, check it. Puzzle is solved. Awesome. So that was an excellent one. I did that one a little bit faster than usual. I don't know if my brain was just working better today or what have you, but some of these Fog of Wars, I can kind of struggle just to get started and then get stuck kind of down at the end. But everything on this one really seemed to flow wonderfully once I got moving. So, as always, excellent puzzle, Megan. Thank you very much for making these. And that's it. I hope you all enjoyed it as well. If you did, like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. And I'll see you in the next one. Thanks.